Good morning, everybody. So I am waiting for my coffee to heat up on the burner, and so while I'm waiting, I figured I could start the Bible study. So we're going to start in Psalm 2. I know today's the 3rd, but I'm going to do number 2 and 3, just because sometimes it's good to be reminded, right? So for the 2nd of Psalms, this is in the Tree of Life version. So it's also great to read different versions because sometimes it unlocks your brain in a different way and in terms of understanding and gaining additional wisdom. So the 2nd chapter is the coronation of the Messiah King. Why are the nations in an uproar and the peoples mutter vanity? The kings of the earth set themselves up, and rulers conspire together against Adonai and against his anointed one. So just to be clear, Adonai is God the Father, and his anointed one is Jesus, Yeshua. Let's rip their chains apart and throw their ropes off us. He who sits in heaven laughs. Love that line. He who sits in heaven laughs. Like Jesus, Yeshua is the king. He sits at the right hand of the Father, and he laughs. He laughs at all of their, evil schemes, because we already know we have victory. All of us who are with Yeshua. Adonai mocks them, so he will speak to them in his anger and terrify them in his fury. I have set up my king upon Zion, my holy mountain. I will declare the decree of Adonai. He said to me, "You are my son. Today I have become your father. Ask me, and I will give the nations as your inheritance, and the far reaches of the earth as your possession. You shall break the nations with an iron scepter. You shall dash them in pieces like a potter's jar. So now, O kings, be wise." Now notice how the plural, it goes from king, 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 because he's talking about Yeshua as the king. But then he says, "You are my son," which means that, you are his son, I am his daughter. Like, we are part of that inheritance. And it says, "So now, O kings." So God our Father is declaring us kings. When he says, "Be priests and kings, be wise, take warning of judges of the earth." No, it says, "Take warning, O judges of the earth," meaning that we are judges. "Serve Adonai with fear and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, lest he become angry and you perish along your way." Don't want to perish, since his wrath may flare up suddenly. Happy is everyone taking refuge in him. So, take refuge in Yeshua. It's just such a powerful, interpretation and version, because sometimes when you just read the King James, your brain maybe doesn't unlock the Shakespearean language. I love it just because I read it so much, but the Tree of Life really does unlock those things a little bit more. So I'm going to pause right now and adjust my camera as well, so that I can get the boiling water and pour it into my coffee. So how I do this is I have my boiling water here on my New Wave cooktop, and I'm going to now pour that into my little teapot as a pour over, and I've got the coffee already in there. And I think it pretty much take the whole thing. So while I'm here, I'm just going to fiddle a little bit more. Hang on. And I've got that. I'm going to add some more water into this container. Thanks for your patience, so that I can boil up the rest of this while I have good sunlight here. I'm going to pour in more of my canteen prepared with water and do it again. So that's kind of the process. You just have your containers ready, and then when they're ready, you pour the next one in. So I'm going to turn that on again and start. Okay, so now I'm going to let my coffee steep, and now we're going to jump into number 2. I'm sorry, we did 2. Now we're jumping into 3. So Psalms 3, and this is, it says, Magan David, O Psalm of David, when he fled from his son Absalom. Adonai, how many are my foes? So when we think about it, many of us have enemies, we have foes, we have people that are against us, and sometimes you can't even count them all. And when you count parasites that are fighting within your body, that's a lot of foes that you can have in your body, just alone in your body, not even externally in your world. Because as a chosen one, you know, we are attacked. That's just part of the persecution. All right, back to the scripture. Many are rising up against me. Many are saying to my soul, there is no deliverance for him in God. Selah. But you, Adonai, are a shield around me. Isn't that comforting? God is our shield, my glory and the lifter of my head. So my head is raised every day, not because of me, but because of the Lord. I cry out to Adonai with my voice, and he answers me from his holy mountain. Selah. I lie down and sleep. I awake, for Adonai sustains me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people all around who have taken their stand against me. Arise, Adonai, deliver me, my God, for you strike all my enemies on the cheek. That's so, I love that line. For you strike all my enemies on the cheek. You shatter the teeth of the wicked. Deliverance belongs to you, Adonai. Let your blessing be on your people, Selah. The thing that really jumps out at this verse for me is, number one, that sometimes when we are under pressure, when we are attacked, you know, we are fleeing from something. And sometimes that may mean physically, like in the case of King David, he's fleeing from his own son who is persecuting him. So sometimes we flee from our family. Sometimes we flee from our friends. Sometimes we flee from strangers. Sometimes we flee from social media. Okay, and this fleeing is an act of like withdrawing from the world, withdrawing from the pressures of people and family and things that are known, and we need to like have time with God and reflect. And you know, when we're alone, you know, without all those distractions, and for me right now, I'm in my van, and in my van, it's like a smaller version of my life, and it's like everything is counted, like it's measurable in this van because it's a small space, and therefore it's like my brain can think differently in a small space versus in a large space where I'm distracted by so many different things pulling at me. Oh, you need to get this project done. Oh, you need to, you know, paint this cupboard over here. You know, like there's all these distractions. But when you flee or you escape or you remove yourself from those worldly distractions, then your brain settles down and gets quiet when you are one with God. And you're asking God, Adonai, how many are my foes? I have so many enemies. What's the deal? And you feel like, how can I conquer all of these problems? How can I conquer all of these obstacles, all of these projects, all of these things that I have my hands in, right? And then it's like, as we rest in him, as we get in that Shabbat, shalom spot of perfect peace, we remember that Adonai is our shield. Adonai is our protector, and that I am who I am because of him. It's always his grace and mercy, you know, like the things that I feel like I can't handle, like God handles them through me. Like he literally comes in me to help me handle my problems. And he answers me. And that is so true. from his holy mountain. God is always answering our prayers if we trust in him. And when I lie down and sleep and then I awake, I know that like God is the being that sustains me. His presence sustains me. I'm not going to be afraid of the thousands of people that want to take their stand against me. I'm not going to be afraid of however many parasites are inside my body that I'm still fighting off. I'm not going to be afraid of people that are haters on social media that are just stalkers or, you know, say mean things. I'm not going to focus on those people. I'm not going to be annoyed at people that when they say something hurtful. Like, it's just that the Lord Adonai, he is going to strike all my enemies on the cheek. Like, I don't even need to be vengeance at all. Like, the vengeance is mine is who says the Lord. And the deliverance that I'm seeking from this pain belongs to Adonai. It's God's choice to deliver me or not, or to sustain me through the difficult period or the difficult lessons because I need to learn something or I need to gain a new skill or what have you. But the blessings are always coming from Adonai to his people, the people that are in his Torah, who are in his word. So that was on Psalm 2 and 3. And I'm going to set my Bible aside. I hear the water boiling, and I'm going to, again, shift my focus for a second. And I'm going to pour out that water into my receptacle here, my Stanley cup. And I have to tell you, the Stanley cup is such a great investment. It truly, truly is a great investment. And then I just plug it up. And it also comes with a little cup that you can use as a drinking cup, but also the other outer lid. So the point is I'm going to pour the rest of this in here. So now this, and I'm actually going to boil out the little inner insert. This insert purifies my water, and I'm going to do that as well. So, there we go. I'm going to be drinking this Beach House blend today. Now, I'm not normally a coffee drinker. I'm more of a tea drinker than I am a coffee drinker. But sometimes, you know, we have that urge or that desire. And today I have an urge for some coffee. So I'm going to go for that. So I'm going to pour this in here. Leave a little room for some hemp milk. And I'm going to sit back down. And here is my fridge underneath. And I'm going to grab some hemp milk. I really have been enjoying this hemp milk. I make it myself in my Vitamix blender, but I really have enjoyed having that as an alternative to just, you know, almond milk or soy milk or whatever. I like the hemp milk a lot, so you might like it too. All right, let me pour that back. Trying to do all this with one hand, it's sometimes a little nerve-wracking, but get it done. All right, and then I'm gonna get my little frother. I think I got this at IKEA a while back. It's just such a great little tool. And I need to find my sugar, which is actually monk fruit sugar. So sometimes, again, in van life, we do little things that just make sense. So this is something I got years ago from Clinique purchase. It's a little apple, and it's like patent leather, and it's just a cute little pouch. And I put my monk fruit single serve packets in that. It just works out perfectly. So I'm going to put some in there. I'm actually going to do 2 today. Just feeling need a little more sweet. All right. And then we do the frother. So here's the frother. There we go. And it doesn't, you know, sometimes it makes it really, really frothy, and sometimes it's just mildly frothy, but I like it just gives it a different texture, and it really does blend everything up nicely. See? Let's see what we got here. Oh my gosh, it's so perfect. Yes. Okay. So now I'm going to stop here, and then I'll pick up again in a different video. If you'd like more, I'm going to move on to Proverbs, but for time's sake, I'm going to stop it at this 15 mark. Have a good one.